Okay, these are the 10 fundamental rules of striking. Rule number 1, have your hands up and your chin down, okay? Using your hands to protect yourself, to parry incoming strikes, counter, and also you want your chin down because as soon as your chin becomes exposed, you're gonna get knocked out. So always have your chin down, your hands up for protection. Okay, rule number 2. Usually when people start out, they're very tense, so they're clenching all of their muscles, and this is exhausting, okay? They're not relaxed. You have to stay loose when you're fighting, okay? You gotta be comfortable and just stay loose, because when you're really tense, it causes your punches to go very slow. If every muscle is clenched at the same time, the rate and the speed of my punch is gonna come out very slow. But when you're loose, you can slip punches faster, you can throw a lot faster if you stay loose. So stay relaxed when you're fighting and don't tense up. Rule number 3, you wanna make sure that you're breathing out every time you strike. The main reason for this is because as you breathe out, if your opponent is also coming in with a strike at the same time and he connects, you will get the wind knocked out of you. So if you're breathing out, that's gonna help prevent that. But if you're breathing in and someone hits you, you're gonna get the wind knocked out of you instantly. It's not a pleasant feeling. Another reason is that when you're breathing out, it also helps increase the power of your strikes. So those are 2 very good reasons to breathe out when you strike. When you throw your strikes, you want to make sure that you're going with the first 2 knuckles, okay? So that would be your middle knuckle and your index knuckle. These are the 2 largest knuckles. These last 2 knuckles here are prone to injury, so you don't want to be striking with them. The first 2 knuckles, the largest ones, are also in alignment with your forearm. So with all of your strikes, you want to make sure that you're pivoting on your toes and that your hips are also being part of the punch. They're a huge part, because as you follow through with the punch, you want to make sure that you're rotating, because if my feet were flat and my hips weren't turned over, I'm losing a couple inches here. So as I pivot, I'm increasing the reach of my punch by at least 6 inches, just by pivoting out and turning my hips. So make sure that you're pivoting out on all of your punches and you're following through with your hips. When you're striking, make sure that you're not just connecting with the surface area of your target, of your opponent. Make sure that you're going at least 6 inches past your opponent, past the target. So if I were to punch my opponent, I'm not just punching here just at the surface, I'm actually punching all the way through. This dramatically increases the power you're going to get behind every single punch or kick that you throw. You want to make sure that you're capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes. So if you notice that every time he's throwing the jab and he's coming down like that, he's throwing the jab, he's coming down, the next time he throws that jab, you want to make him pay for that. So as he's throwing the jab and retracting it, you're going to come over the top with the right hand. So if you notice that your opponent is making mistakes, make sure that you take advantage of them. You want to make sure that you don't telegraph. Telegraphing is letting your opponent know what you're about to throw. For example, when I throw the jab, this would be me telegraphing. Elbows coming out first, and then I'm throwing the jab. If I want to help disguise my jab, it comes directly from my center. Not elbow out, telegraphing, and then through. Directly from the center. So don't telegraph. It's letting your opponent know what strike is coming. So you want to be as unpredictable as possible. So this is a combination of using your footwork, your feints, your head movement, and just changing the levels up, changing the rhythm and the timing of your punches. So changing the levels, you want to attack high, then attack low. Okay, using your footwork, you want to move left, and then move right. You don't want to be moving in the same direction the whole time, because then your opponent's going to predict your next step. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're moving your head around. Okay, you're moving left, you're bobbing, you're weaving, using all the elements involved in defensive fighting to make your movements very unpredictable, and that way your opponent's not going to know what you're going to throw. So you're going to throw feints, you're mixing it up, you're moving your head around, you're bobbing, you're weaving, again you're playing with your footwork, you're moving left, you're moving right, you're changing your levels, attacking high, attacking low, and you're mixing it up with your hands and your kicks. If you start a combination off with your hands, you want to finish it with your feet, and vice versa. If you start a combination with your feet, you want to finish it with your hands. So if I throw a combination starting with my hands, such as a jab, jab, I'm going to follow that up with a jab, jab, roundhouse kick. So jab, jab, roundhouse kick. Okay? If I were to start off a combination with, let's say, an inside leg kick, I'm going to go inside leg kick, and then I'm going to follow it up with my hands. So inside leg kick, cross, hook, cross. Inside leg hook, cross, hook, cross. Okay, so you want to make sure if you're going to use your feet to start it off, you're going to finish with your hands. If you're going to start with your hands, you're going to finish with your feet.